What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video guys, me going over the best gear sets for each of the Mushoku Tensei collab characters and explaining why you guys want to be running these gear sets if you plan on making gear for these characters. So let's hop into the video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 35,000 subscribers, guys. We're literally like 750 subscribers away from the milestone, man. So if you guys have not hit the subscribe button already, definitely make sure to. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and discuss the best gear sets for each of the characters. So let's start with Ghislaine. So Ghislaine's going to be the first character we're going to be going over. And in terms of the best gear set, in my opinion, for Ghislaine, it's actually going to be HP defense. And this is going to be more of like a, not a showcase type gear set, but more of a gear set that like you would want to run if you're trying to run her for a meta team, right? So the reason why I say HP defense is because of the way Ghislaine's passive works, right? So in PvP, increase the hero's basic stats by 7%, blah 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 blah. Then marks the enemy with the highest combat class at the start of the battle, and the way marking the enemy works is the marked enemy can only attack Ghislaine, right? So that's something to take into account. So the fact that they can only attack into Ghislaine makes her kind of like a taunt unit, kind of like the way Galland works actually, and also the way you know, any other taunt works in the game in Grand Cross. So the marked enemy has to attack Ghislaine, and in addition, the hero's damage though increases by 40% when attacking the marked enemy, and the marked enemy's attack related stats decrease by 30%. So pretty much the way it works is that the enemy that gets marked is going to do a lot less damage against you, and you're going to be doing more damage against them. So running the HP set is going to be fine attacking the character that is marked, and also they're going to be doing a lot less damage. One thing to add to the actual gear part of the thing is that a red Tarmiel link on her is going to be a very important thing as well, because the marked enemy has to attack into her, so they're going to get block affected after the double attack, right? So that's very important. And yeah, I mean, you know, you're only really going to be using Ghislaine in PvP anyway, so I think if you were to make a set for her, HP defense seems like the best set to make, as long as she is playing the role as the tank against the main DPS on the other team, which is most likely going to be the highest CC character anyway. And that's why I recommend HP defense for Ghislaine. If you were to run her in like PvE scenarios, you could definitely argue like an attack defense or an attack crit damage. If you want to run her DPS oriented, I would say attack defense is fine, and the reason why is because she doesn't really crit. From what I've noticed, I don't think she has like crazy crit chance either. We could actually check. Yeah, I mean 96 is good, but it's not going to be you know, a staple considering all the characters in the meta now that have like over 100% crit resistance, right? So you're not really going to be critting. So I mean, attack crit damage is, you know, a fine set, but attack defense, if you want to run her like DPS oriented, would probably be the way to go. So that's going to be Ghislaine right there. Let's move on to Rudius right here. So Rudius, in terms of his gear set that I would recommend, depending on the content you're doing, if it's PvE oriented and you're doing PvP content, I would definitely recommend an attack crit damage set. And the reason why is because Rudius is a DPS character. If we actually look at his passive here, he's going to be doing a lot more damage when he gets the magic orb. He relies on having human allies on the team for the basic stats. You know, he gets the single target damage dealt with per magic orb as he builds them up for every human character using a skill, right? And then once he gets the 5 magic orbs, he increases his crit chance by 50% and damage dealt by 30%. So having that crit damage part of the gear set is going to be very important, so that the crits hit a lot harder. So you have attack crit damage, and that's going to be mainly a PvE set. It can be run as PvP as well, but the CC you're going to lack with Rudius is going to be really low. And so if you were to run him as like kind of like a supportive type character, but also another threat on a human team, HP defense is not going to be a bad idea either, because then it actually forces Rudius to be kind of like super tanky. And then when he does get the 5 magic orbs after you've, you know, attacked, like let's say you're attacking with like ultimate Ascanor, and then you're attacking with like Roxy, and Rudius builds up all 5 of those magic orbs, he can go crazy. And he also on his relic increases attack related stats as well per magic orb. So you know, even on an HP defense set, as long as you know, have him built fairly well, he's going to be hitting super hard, man. So yeah, I think that's definitely something to take into account, alongside the fact he's getting the basic stats and all that. Very good. But my recommendation is PvP, definitely a HP defense set. So you'd want to run, you know, something like how I had on Ghislaine. And then if you are running PvE content, you would want to run an attack crit damage set, because you want to have as much damage as possible, as that's what Rudius is meant to do. So that's going to be Rudius right there, guys. Let's move on to the next character being Roxy. So Roxy's best gear set is actually going to be an attack defense set, and this covers all content in the game. And the reason why I say this is because the way Roxy's passive works is that her shield is scales off of her initial attack. So the initial attack she goes into the battle with is the shield strength that the shield is going to have. So the higher the attack at base, the better the shield is going to be in terms of tankiness. And it's kind of the way like King works in a sense, but King is more of like how much damage he deals versus, you know, the attack of the character. But Roxy is still able to provide fairly strong shield as long as you're running like an attack set. You can run attack crit damage if you want for more damage, but I personally think attack defense is going to be the way to go, because you do want her to tank fairly well as she's doing her attacks. And another thing to take into account as well is that her Holy Relic does decrease damage taken from allies who received a barrier from the hero, which is going to be every single turn, as she from her passive is going to apply that barrier every single time. And you know, Roxy can apply a 20% attack related stats increase for the people that did not get their shield broken, which is a very good ability. And so because of that, you know, having that 20% attack related, she's going to be fairly doing fairly well. In PvP, you know, I would say probably attack is probably still the way to go. I mean, HP defense, sure. But PvP, I don't really see Roxy as like a very strong character there, as, you know, things like Rimuru, Esros, a commandment, a lot of that things kind of stop the shield and getting that attack related, so it can definitely become an issue. So mainly PvE though, attack defense is going to be a really good set, because, you know, she's going to be as tanky as can be while having the strongest possible shield possible, and then the rest of the team is going to be getting that 20% attack related to do a lot more damage. So that's what I'd say. Attack defense is definitely the way to go for Roxy. You can definitely try HP defense for like PvP, but again, Roxy's not really a PvP character in my eyes. She's more of like a PvE character where you can actually get that like 20% attack related to like boost other characters' damage. And yeah, that's pretty much what I would say for Roxy. So let's move on to the next character being Eris. She is the last character in the collab. The best gear set for Eris is actually going to be an attack crit damage set, guys. And the reason why is because the main way Eris works is that she's supporting human allies that are red attribute, right? So mainly like Rudius, or like, you know, like Reinhardt, Kizuna, you know, any other red characters in PvE, right? So for each applicable ally on the battlefield in PvE, increase those allies' attack related stats by 10% and damage dealt with single target attacks by 15%, and the applicable ally is going to be strength attribute humans. And so like when you're running a farming team, like, and you know, I did make a video covering this team as well, but if we actually go to my teams right here, I did actually make a farming team where it's mono red with human red characters, right? So they actually get the attack related bonus. And so my Brunhild, my Sigurd both get it, and Eris herself actually gets it as well. And so they're able to hit fairly hard and actually go through most farming stages in guaranteed 1 turns per each phase, which I think is really, really good. And so, you know, for her gear set, I would recommend attack crit damage so that she's able to hit as hard as possible, because you don't want to invest in Eris as much. So having an attack crit set will, you know, provide her the most amount of damage you can get out of, you know, doing damage with her specifically. But she's mainly on the team to support other red attribute humans for them to do more damage, right? But yeah, you obviously still want her to do some type of damage, so an attack crit set is fine. But that's what I would recommend, guys, in terms of the for Mushoku Tensei characters. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are those the gear sets that you guys already made or are planning on making? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.